Hi, ladies. So, if you are here, that is because you are interested in knowing how I started my cuddling service, how I became a professional cuddler. And I'm going to give you all the information that you want to know. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so because I have more videos coming out about cuddling services, about femininity, and things of that nature. So, go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so I went ahead and moved locations because I'm honestly a lot more comfortable in this setting than my makeup room. But with that being said, cuddling services, they are very popular in Japan and China, in LA, Michigan, Chicago, really, really big city states and certain countries. Being a professional cuddler is super popular. This is not a service that I invented. This was actually a service that I got off of watching The Real in like 2015. I believe you might be able to still YouTube that episode, but the lady, she was charging 99 cents per minute and she was cuddling with men. And so I'm just like, I'm kind of doing the same thing in a strip club because y'all, I wasn't heavy on the dancing in the strip club. So technically, I started the service in Michigan in 2015, but I did not fully start doing the service and it being my main source of income until 2016 when I moved to North Carolina. And the reason why is because I finally had like my own place. I was in a relationship in 2015 and that relationship was not adequate for me doing things of that nature. Like he was okay with me stripping, but he wasn't okay with me cuddling. So I need to be out on my own so I can, just figure my own ish out. And that is actually something that I really want you ladies to think about. This is not a service that a lot of men are going to be okay with because it's not like stripping. It's not. You're not doing a dance. You are cuddling with other human beings in a bedroom, on the floor, on the couch, wherever you choose to do it at. It's totally different from being a stripper. And the reality is, you are building a more serious relationship with these men or women, in case there's any guys watching, because you are honestly building the strongest relationship you can have with a human being outside of birthing them, which is a mental and an emotional connection. Like, I was laying with these human beings and talking to them about their problems. I would have men that would come in and confess to me that they are bisexual. I would have pastors come in and confess to me like they were they would the stuff they were doing. I think that is what really turned me off of church, was all the pastors that I had come in, that were interested in my service. I will be doing story times. I won't be revealing any names, but y'all, there's some stories. And just all the unhappy married men that would come in. It was just ugh. And if y'all want the tea on that, just let me know. I want to try to keep this video strictly on how I started, but I really wanted to put that up front just to let you know the depth of what you're going to encounter if you were going to do a service like this. And when you do build that strong of a relationship, some people might not be able to handle it because they stop looking at you as a person that is providing a service and they start replacing you with that emptiness that they are feeling. So, it was easy for me to make money because mentally they wasn't looking at giving me a service. They were literally looking at me as like that's their significant other. And it wasn't something that I was trying to do on purpose. But it was something that I was like, I'm okay. What you want me to do? If you want to give me $400, I will happily take that $400. And there were several occasions where that would happen. I remember talking about on live how this welder, he was going through a divorce, and this man paid a lot of money for my service, and there was no extracurricular activities going on with the service. That's the crazy part, and that's why I say you have to be really careful, because you have this person that's investing their money, their resource into you, and they're investing large sums, because I wasn't charging no 99 cents. they're investing large sums of money into you, and they're calling you or texting you and wanting to see you all the time. So you have to be really, really careful. And if you don't set boundaries, it will get out of control. I was lucky enough to where I was pretty good at setting boundaries. And if I thought it was going to get out of control, I nipped it in the bud and I gave them a reality check really, really quickly, which did run a lot of guys off. And this honestly was something that would happen with a lot of younger men. Yeah, I remember one situation. I told this guy, I'm not your girlfriend. You want to be happy, you need to find a girlfriend. I'm not her. And he literally was like, oh yeah, that's right. He got up, paid me, and left. And I haven't talked to him since. But it's situations like that where you have to snap them back into control. But anyway, back to how I got started doing this. So yeah, like I was saying, it started in 2015, and I was fully into it in 2016 when I was living in North Carolina. I started out of a boarding house, crazy enough. Now, I would not, if I was going to do it the same, I would not do a boarding house. Um, I would rent out a like massage parlor, a room in a massage parlor or something of that nature, and offer services there and just make it as comfortable as possible, because it's pretty much, well, massaging and cuddling is not the same, but you can create the same type of atmosphere, because that's what I did in the house that I had rented to do this service. I literally created the same atmosphere, but instead of giving you a massage, I was laying down and cuddling with you. So when it came down to actually performing the services, I tried to get as much information beforehand as possible so that when the actual client came in, I could have everything set up for them. The issue that I will run into is that this was not a service that they wanted, their spouse to know about. So it was very limited talking. It was literally, hey, this is Jordan, and I want to book a 30-minute cuddling session with you. What time do you have available? And I would say 1:30, and they would be like, okay, how much? 150. Okay, I will be there. What is the address? I would give them the address, explain, hey, understand that there are cameras here, so this will not be, I'm not alone, and things of that nature. And when they show up, I would get their ID, make sure they said who they were, give them back their ID, and then we would proceed to go either in the bedroom or the living room with the door open and cuddle. Now, they did wear pajamas. This was not a service that they can just come and just wear whatever they wanted. No, they had to wear pajamas. I wore satin pajamas. I have a lot of them. I would get all my pajamas from Amazon, silk or satin. And what ended up happening was I developed a roster, and I had like a steady roster of maybe 6 men, just because a lot of men would come in thinking it would be something that it wasn't. And yeah, so I developed a roster, and those men were so, like, they were so consistent, and they would book emergency sessions, and I would charge like 3 something for an emergency session, and they would just come in, and a lot of times, y'all, we wasn't going in the bedroom and cuddling. We were just sitting down having coffee, and they were telling me how much they hate their wives. They were telling me how, like, this one guy was telling me how he just got back from like some kind of camp, some kind of down low camp, and how he just did not want to go home yet and see his wife. Whew, there was a lot going on with the service. You would have to deal with men when it came to like hygiene. I would have to turn down men who I noticed their hygiene was not up, meaning they didn't look like they took a bath or smelled like they took a bath, and I just was not going to do it. I was constantly changing my sheets. Like, y'all, I think like between Roses and Walmart, they was like, girl, you bought our sheets out. I was constantly changing my sheets and throwing them away, and I did not sleep in the same like in the same bed that I did these services in. I had the services in a totally different room. I got to the point where I just could not even, I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to be in that bed. I just didn't want anything to do with that room, because it started to feel really, really dirty after a while. It just started to feel bad. And I think for me personally, I felt so bad for the women, because I'm like, your husband hates you. He literally hates you. And I'm sure this was not something that was brand new to a lot of these wives, but I just did not like being a part of it. I felt like that I was being a part of the the ending to a marriage, and I don't do that. I don't want to break up no happy home. It's one thing to go to a strip club, but then it's another thing to actually be giving your ends and resources and stuff. And I'm sure these men had the money, but it's just like, I just didn't like the way it felt after a while. But yeah, and then especially with the pastors, oh my God, this one pastor, his wife was sick and he would come in. I'm just like, so you rather spend your money and time with me instead of your sick wife? Have you like, but if somebody was going to do it, but I decided after a while it wasn't going to be me. But I understand that you guys are interested in this video. So I'm going to wrap it up right here because I don't want to keep you long. And if I told you everything, it'd be like a 2-hour video. So write down in the comments specifically what you want me to talk about. And I promise to make a video specifically on that subject. Okay. All right, so I will see you later. Please go ahead and subscribe and understand that this is just the intro to everything. There's a lot that goes into being a professional cuddler that you have to understand. And yeah, so I'm going to go because I have some other videos I want to film for you about femininity and dating and all that good stuff. So bye.